Today I wanted to answer a question that I get asked all the time. What is my essential reading list for developing a Shizen style? So I've got 5 main books that I want to go over and a few bonuses thrown in here and there that you're not going to want to miss. So there are different sides and different angles you can approach to developing a Shizen style. And just quickly, Shizen means nature, natural, and spontaneous. So when thinking about bringing in Shizen or those elements into your lifestyle, there's a few different areas that we can cover. The first area, which I think a lot of you are drawn to, is Japanese gardens. And one of my favorite books is Japanese Garden Design. So this book was written by Marc P, Keane, and I've had it for years. It's one of the best books out there on design principles, and going through it, the beginning is very detailed in the historical stuff. So if you're not interested in that, that's fine. Skim through. It is really great knowledge. So the first couple chapters are on the history, but then he gets into, which I've talked about before, is some of the main 4 garden styles. He has a chapter on the gardens of Zen Buddhism, the tea garden, the Tsubo gardens, those are the courtyard gardens, and Edo stroll gardens. It's written by a great knowledgeable author who's come up in the Japanese garden scene in Kyoto, working for some of the different landscape designers, and is a beautiful creator in his own right. As a bonus, with a little bit of self-promotion, I highly recommend my Shizen Style Japanese Garden Design. That's my ebook that you can get in the link down below off of my website, and that goes through specifically what we consider Shizen style and dealing with composition and spatial design. My second recommendation is Japanese Design, an illustrated guide to art, architecture, and aesthetics in Japan by Patricia J. This book is a great primer on a lot of the concepts that I talk about, such as wabi-sabi, ma, and iki, and she uses it in a variety of different ways, going into pottery and architecture and clothing. So it's a great beginning book, and with a wide variety of all of the different traditional concepts, as well as some of the modern styles that Japanese design incorporates. My third recommendation for a Shizen style is Forest Bathing: How Trees Can Help You Find Health and Happiness by Dr. Qing Li. This was one of the first books to come out on this subject, and this great researcher in Tokyo really worked with the government and defined the science behind what is forest bathing now, Shinrin Yoku. At the moment, I can't find the book. I believe my daughter is reading it, so I'll have to steal it back from her when she's done. But it's a great book that provides the background and the facts about how we really need to be out in nature, and we need to bring nature into our lives. It's not pseudoscience. It's really backed by science in this book about how nature relieves our stress and we feel more comfortable, and it allows us to create a more meaningful and successful life. There is a lot of science in there, but it does go into a few examples of how we can bring this forest therapy and forest bathing into our life. The fourth essential book is In Praise of Shadows: Challenging the Cult of Speed. This is by Carl Honore. This book is really a primer on learning how to appreciate the moment and enjoy your life. It's sort of an anti-hustle book where, hustle culture really gets rammed down our throats, and productivity and all of that grinding culture. This is the opposite. This shows you that slow is beautiful, and that's one of his chapters in here. And he also has things about food. And he goes into differences between cities, blending old and new, and the mind-body connection. He touches on leisure and the importance of being at rest. The last chapter also gets into children and how it's important to raise unhurried children and let them develop at their own pace. So this is a really great book that brings in nature and slowness and the changing of the seasons and allowing your body to follow that kind of rhythm throughout life. He does have a follow-up book, The Slow Fix. Solve problems, work smarter, and live better in a world addicted to speed. This is a follow-up book, so I consider it a bonus if you'd like to delve a little bit more into how you can kind of get rid of that need for a quick fix. The fifth book is Awakening Your Ikigai, How the Japanese Wake Up to Joy and Purpose Every Day by Dr. Ken Mogi. So there are a lot of Ikigai books out there, and you've probably seen that Venn diagram of what makes me happy and what I can make money with, and I'll have a separate video on that, but the Venn diagram is crap, so don't fall for that one. This is really about the concept of Ikigai and what it really means, and finding purpose and living in the moment without some big goal that you're aiming for, but just how to be happy in life. And it's a real big part of the Shizen style because you're living day to day and you're living with purpose and meaning. And that is a path for success and happiness. The final bonus that I have for you is called The Nature Fix. Now, this is a similar topic to forest bathing, but it's in a different style. It's still mixed with a lot of science, but she has some nice stories that go along. It makes it for a nice read. So The Nature Fix, Why Nature Makes Us Happier, Healthier, and More Creative by Florence Williams. This book I'm really drawn to, particularly in the middle of the book, because I have a deep passion for creativity, and she gets into sort of the biophilia effect, which is related to wilderness and bringing out creativity, and how nature and awe can spark those moments of creativity for us. So I highly recommend The Nature Fix as well. So those books are all sort of, in different genres of Shizen style, and at some point I will go a little deeper and create more specific all the Japanese garden books that I'm really interested in, and all of the sort of personal growth and maybe the nature related books that I love. So for now, these are the 5 essentials with a few bonuses to help you develop your Shizen style.